All right. So this new moon is a new moon in Gemini, and it's a cool one. Let me just click through here. So the vibes for this new moon is they're all about expansion and soul cleansing, and there's going to be a little bit of confusion, and I'll tell you why here in just a second. But keep this in mind: expansive and soul cleansing, very centering for ourselves. So the new moon, if this is a concept that's new to you, it's at the beginning of the lunar cycle, right? And it is a time for new beginnings, fresh starts. A lot of attention gets paid to the full moon, which is cool. The full moon is the moon at its like most potent. And I just feel like sometimes the new moon gets passed over. And what's so great about the new moon is we can set our intentions now. And we set our intentions for our business, our life, our relationships, whatever feels good. And as the moon gains strength and hits that full moon point, we're building that intention up and we're building that energy up and we're really focused on that. And then we can use the full moon to really give it its like last burst of extra power, extra energy. So that then as the moon starts waning and starts coming back down and around to the dark moon and then the new moon again, we can release the junk that's not helping us, that's not serving us. And then we have a chance to do it all over again. And it's just so cool because I am a huge believer in continual transformation and the ability that we have to always start again. So the new moon really represents that as far as I'm concerned. All right, so you may be feeling the urge to kind of start something new, try something new out. I know both Kelly and Tabitha mentioned kind of fresh starts in different parts of their lives. The new moon is all about new beginnings. Now, I mentioned earlier that there might be a little confusion going on with this new moon, and that's because Neptune is super active right now. Now, Neptune is the planet of illusions, the planet of dreams, and spiritual love. So what Neptune does is sometimes it throws this cloak or this veil over things. Again, it's the planet of illusions. So it might be that you're like, I want to start something new, or I'm feeling the urge for a fresh beginning, but I'm not really sure what that is. So right now, the biggest challenge is for us to kind of trust the process. The nice thing about it, though, is that Neptune throws this veil and this cloak over the outer world, and it gives us a chance to really focus inward. And if all else fails, for this new moon specifically, you can start your intentions with a focus on self-love, because Neptune is all about that spiritual self-love. A couple other cool planetary things going on right now. Juno is an asteroid, and it is the asteroid of partnerships. And Juno is also a goddess of June. She's also known as Hera in the Greek mythology. So she's all about partnerships. She's about partnerships in marriage and relationships, even friendships. And she's also about the independence in those partnerships, which I think is so cool. So it's like, how can you show up in your relationships, in your partnerships? So as you're setting your intentions here in a few minutes, this might be something to focus on, is how do you want to show up? Like, who do you want to be? Not necessarily what do you want to do, but who do you want to be? Pluto is also active right now, and Pluto is the planet of transformation. So Pluto is going to help us through these changes. So we have these guiding planetary forces coming along with this new moon to help us. So even though it can be a little confusing, we got this. We're good. And it is also Saturn retrograde because that wasn't enough. So Saturn is the master teacher and the Lord of Karma. So we're going to see some things that maybe happened back in March of this year kind of come to fruition or pop up again. But, you know, we're all really amazing people here, so I'm not worried about that being a bad thing. What's nice is the Saturn retrograde will boost the new moon's energy. So we've got a lot of energy to work with here, and a lot of fun intention setting can happen right now. And I want to encourage you too, just to follow how your body feels. I have noticed amongst my clients and my friends that you either are one of those people who gets a burst of energy at the new moon, or you're one who gets a burst of energy at the full moon. It seems like that's the case. So for me, the new moon is very energizing. I am always excited when it's around. It happens to coincide with my most fertile period biologically. And then for me, this full moon is where I'm like not sleeping because the energy is so intense, and it's usually when my cycle hits and all that. So just pay attention to that and honor what you're feeling right now. And the cool thing about the moons, especially like the full moon and the new moon, is that we can start working with the moon 3 days before and even 3 days after that point in the cycle. So that's why we're working on this here on Thursday, because our new moon is actually on Sunday. So we can start working with that energy right now, and you might be feeling the new moon energy already. And you can just build that up through Thursday or through Sunday, and then continue working on it even through Wednesday of next week. It's really cool. All right, so right now it's time for some deep revelation, some important like internal things. Also, your expanded awareness. The new moon is on Sunday. If I said full moon, I'm sorry. So new moon is on Sunday, and we're doing the new moon stuff right now. We're also looking at the soul growth, right? And we're really looking at alignment with all parts of ourselves. So in our intention setting portion, we're going to come into alignment with all parts of ourselves. We're going to use the chakras. It's going to be really cool. Before we do that, I just want to bring up that this is, again, the new moon in Gemini. So Gemini vibes are curious, they're independent, they're social, animated, expressive, intelligent. They also can be kind of antsy and fidgety, impatient, impulsive, unpredictable. So just honor those vibes and, use that curiosity that comes with Gemini to explore some new possibilities, right? So before I pop into the ritual portion, are there any other questions? Just running through the comments. Adrienne, you're saying, I know, I'm already feeling it doing a ritual right now with my creative flow community. Oh, cool. All right. Okay, so I'm sure we have all heard about I am statements, and I am statements are wonderful. I am bold, I am brave, I am creative. And what is interesting is that someone recently pointed out, I just happened to see a video on Instagram, but to happen to point out that that is an affirmation for our root chakra, which is great. And we have all these other chakras. So for our intention setting, we are going to go through and make an intention and or affirmation for each of the chakras, starting with that root. And I will guide you through those. So if you have a pen and paper, that would be great. Feel free to grab anything that you need to. I will wait for just a moment. All right, so we are going to dive in with the affirmation for our root chakra. So this is our classic I am statement. So as we look forward to the month ahead, using this new moon's curious, intelligent, vivacious energy, and also this element of self-love, what is that I am statement that you'd like for yourself? And I'm going to do this too.
Megan.
Yes.
This is a affirmation for the root chakra.
Mhm.
And could you, for the root chakra, can you remind me again what the root chakra
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
is about? Because I'm not
Oh, yeah, no problem.
only vaguely familiar.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll go through all of that for us,
Okay.
just as like a little extra info. So the root
Okay.
chakra is our foundation, and it is down at the base of our spine. And so we are grounded here. When the root chakra is in alignment, we are feeling pretty good about ourselves. We feel very safe. All of our basic needs are met. So as we write out an affirmation or intention that starts with I am, that is fueling that root chakra and reminding us that I am loved, I am secure, I am creative, whatever it is. And it's like it's a way to kind of own that statement in that part of our body. Right. So our next chakra is our sacral chakra. And this is our creative center. So this is the next one up on the list, on the ladder. It's all about creativity. It corresponds in the body with where our reproductive organs are. So it's creativity in both the literal sense, but also the metaphorical and spiritual sense. And when this part of our body is feeling very secure and it's aligned, we feel safe feeling into the world around us. We feel confident in our emotions, in our ability to create something new. So here we're focusing on I feel. So what do you want to feel for the next lunar month? How do you want to feel? Our next chakra is the solar plexus chakra. So this kind of rests between the diaphragm and your belly button. And here is our power center. So these three chakras are very much about embodiment and our connection with our personal strength, our inner strength. And the affirmation for the solar plexus is I do, because solar plexus is all about action. It's still got that fiery energy that comes up from the root and the sacral chakra. And it can help inform some of the upper chakras as well. So as you're looking forward to the month, what do you want to do? I know we're talking about who we want to be, but also like, gotta have some action in there, right? And maybe it's unpacking boxes or revamping an Instagram account or whatever it is. What do you want to do for this lunar month ahead? And I think a beautiful affirmation for this chakra is, I do my best. It's so simple. I do enough. I love that. Awesome. Thank you. Our next chakra is the heart chakra. And the heart chakra is a wonderful bridge between the really body-centric chakras and then the more outside of our world and spiritual centric chakras. So the affirmation for this one is, of course, I love. So what do you love? And with this new moon's energy, we're kind of looking at self-love and turning inward. So what do you love about yourself? Might be a good one. Now we start moving into those upper chakras, and we've got the throat chakra. Throat chakra is all about speaking literally, but also speaking our power and speaking our voice. So speaking up for ourselves and others. And when it is an alignment, we feel good about sharing our point of view. We feel comfortable sharing our thoughts on, controversial topics, or our thoughts on artistic topics. So as we look at the month ahead, what would you like to speak? And a fun way to look at this as well is, I speak into existence, ... Next, we've got that third eye chakra, and that is I see. So our third eye, when it is in alignment and open, we are seeing things with an eye toward the spiritual. We understand that we are part of the universe as a whole. We also are open to our intuition. So the third eye is all about leaning into our intuitive natures. So for the next month, what would you like to see? And our final affirmation is I know. And this one corresponds with the crown chakra. So in the very top of our head, and that's our connection with the universe beyond us. And this is where we receive our truths and how we connect with the divine. And it's kind of that bridges that gap between us and those around us. So one of the affirmations for this chakra is I know, kind of like Oprah's, I know this to be true. So as you move into the month, what do you want to know for yourself, for your business, for your life? All right. So just a couple of closing thoughts. Let's stop sharing this real quick. So with this new moon, again, focusing on self-care and self-love. And I encourage you to take this list of your affirmations and post it somewhere so that you can look at it every single day. Just kind of read it back to yourself. And in that way, we're kind of training our brains to think in this way. So I'm all about the magic and the mystery, and I'm also all about the neuroscience. So we're actually creating new pathways in our mind when we say these words to ourselves. So say them aloud if that works for you as well. Yes, Adrienne.
I have a little trick that I've developed that really, really helps with this.
Oh,
If you
cool.
have someone else that you live with, a partner or someone who like comes over to your house sometimes,
Yeah.
have them move the little list around to new places so that you will discover it anew and your brain will then see it again. Because if it stays in the same place for too long, you just tune it out. You don't see it anymore. So if you can discover it as a surprise somewhere, A, it's a really fun little game, and B, it will actually make you see it again for the first time.
I love that. Thank you. Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, the brain loves anything that's new and different. So that's why we love drama, because it's new and different. I love that. That is such a fun tip. Thank you so much for that. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to go ahead and stop recording.